Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to be discussing is we're going to be talking about Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos basically coming to an agreement that they are going to be releasing Russell Wilson. They're going to be taking on the largest cap hit in NFL history of close to $85 million. A couple of things we're going to be talking about in this video. First off, we're going to be talking about, is this the worst NFL trade in NFL history? They went back when the Denver Broncos traded for Russell Wilson. They got him from the Seattle Seahawks for a haul of picks, players, etc. You name it. Everybody and their mama thought this was going to make the Denver Broncos just like one of the juggernauts within the league. The Broncos were going to be so good. Then the Broncos went and gave him a huge 5-year, $245 million contract extension. Everybody was like, oh my God, this is great. When Russell Wilson got there, we thought it was going to be good, like I said. But then he had Nathaniel Hackett as a head coach first year, and we thought, okay, brush it off the shoulder. It's whatever. Nathaniel Hackett, horrible head coach, horrible play caller. Sean Payton comes in. We think Sean Payton's going to fix him. And it looked like it was going to be fixed, but then it didn't obviously work out. So kind of in this video, like I said, I want to talk about Russell Wilson and if this is the worst NFL trade in NFL history, NFL contract in NFL history. And we're going to talk about where does the Denver Broncos go from here and where does Russell Wilson go from here? Because from what reports have been saying, Russell Wilson is going to be going somewhere else, and he's possibly going to hit his cap number for whatever team decides to pick him up next year. It's going to be close to maybe $1 to $1.15 million. That's it. Whereas the Denver Broncos are going to be having upwards of $85 million in dead money cap hits for a player that's not even on the team. So without further ado, we're going to get straight on into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first up, I want to let you guys know the article that's going to be on screen here. So if you guys want to go check it out completely for yourself, read anything in here. If you guys want to do it without listening to me, feel free to do so. Link will down in the description. But as we know from the Denver Broncos, this statement was put out, and I quote, "We spoke with Russell Wilson Monday to inform him of the release after the start of the league year, March 13th at 4 p.m. Then, quote, on behalf of the Broncos, we thank Russell for his contributions and dedication to our team and community while wishing him the best as he continues his career. As we move forward, we are focused on building the strongest team possible for the 2024 season and beyond. We are excited to improve this offseason and will have the flexibility to get better throughout the draft and free agency," quote. Russell Wilson then went out and put out this on Instagram. If you want to read it for yourself, feel free to do so. But basically, it's just kind of doing the same thing the Denver Broncos did, just thanking all his time, thanking all the people that were there with the Denver Broncos and all the different people that kind of helped him get there, and then just kind of wishing them the best, hoping and just praying for his career. But now that they're both kind of be separating, let's kind of discuss what went wrong. As we know, over the 2 seasons, they did not have a good run. It says here they went 11-19 over the 2 years that Russell Wilson was there. They failed to make the playoffs in either year. Payton then had to go on and bench Russell Wilson in the 2 remaining games in 2023, which was a shocker to a lot of people. But then again, when you watch the way they played, it was like sometimes he played good, other times it was like Russell is getting screamed at by Sean Payton. It's like, well, he's not playing god awful, but he's not playing the best either. So it's like, I don't see why he's getting screamed at, but I understand why he'd get a little bit chewed out. Like I said in the intro, the Broncos signed Russell Wilson to a 5-year, $242.6 million deal after his arrival, and now they're going to be taking on an $85 million cap hit in dead money over the next 2 seasons combined because of the release. And it says here they're going to have to decide which year do they want it in. Do they want it in 2024 or 2025? I would think if they want to go all in, at least try and put together a team this year, put it in 2025. If they think they're going to be like at least a year away, put it in right now, put it on this year, especially with the way the cap hit went up. Put it right now and then just get it over with, and then they can move on. Now, like I said, when they went and got Russell Wilson from the Seattle Seahawks, it says here they had to send 5 draft picks, including 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, as well as 3 players to get him. Now, the players that they gave up weren't exactly the best, in my opinion. One of them off the top of my head, I believe, was Noah Fant, the tight end. He hasn't really panned out with Seattle. Now, for Russell Wilson, here's where it stands. Like it says, he's 35 years old. He's still not in his prime, but he's kind of tapering off, but he still has a lot left to give. He's a really good quarterback when he's in the right system from what we saw in Seattle. Everybody always talked about Pete Carroll. He needs to let Russ cook. He needs to let Russ cook. And I think Pete Carroll had a good way of coaching him. He was able to control him, keep him under just like a roof of just like, don't let him get his head too big. And it worked for a long time, but then he went to Denver. We all thought Broncos country, let's ride, and it was going to be all this great thing. And it didn't pan out, obviously. They are saying that he could possibly go to the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the thing I want to talk about. I made a video a while back. I'll put an annotation up there back whenever I talked about Russell Wilson. If he were to leave the Denver Broncos, where he could possibly go to, I believe the team off the top of my head, the Steelers were up there, the Patriots were up there, the Falcons were up there, and there was 2 others that I said maybe he could go to these teams. I think the Commanders were one of them. When it comes to Russell Wilson, like I said, the Steelers and the Falcons are the 2 teams I would think would make the most sense. I have talked about in the past about Justin Fields also possibly going to either the Steelers or the Falcons. So when it comes to Russell Wilson, it kind of all depends on what system would kind of suit him best. Like we said, it's not going to come down to, oh, well, how much money is he going to demand? He's going to get $1.15 million is what they're saying. No matter where he goes, whatever team gets him, it's going to be like a 1-year deal, 1.15 million, and that is it. In the nicest way possible, he's going to be a rental this season. Now, the thing that I find funny is when you look at what he said here, and I'll read it out, and I quote, "For me, it's about winning. Over the next 2 years, I want to win 2 Super Bowls. I want to feel the chill of that trophy again," quote. I'm sorry, Russell, but you ain't winning no more Super Bowls. You won the one against Peyton Manning, even though you didn't really win that game. Your defense just choked out Peyton Manning the whole entire game and won that game for you. And then the one you could have won a second one, you lost the game because Pete Carroll decided to say, okay, let's let Russell Wilson go win the game for us. When in reality, it was called just hand the fucking ball to beast mode. You hand that ball to beast mode, you're a 2-time champ. Possibly going, for all we know, maybe that dynasty doesn't collapse and maybe you go for a 3-peat. But now when it comes to the Denver Broncos, here's kind of where they need to go. Like we said, Russell Wilson is going to be gone. No more Russell Wilson. The big question is, where do they go from here? Sean Payton, his big thing, his whole career, he had Drew Brees. What's a quarterback like him that they could possibly go after? Is there somebody in free agency? Is there somebody in the draft? If they're going through free agency, I'd say maybe they could go after Kirk Cousins. Maybe they can go after somebody else. Kirk Cousins is the only really big name guy that I could think of maybe they go after. If they could do like a 1-to-1 kind of swap and like let Russ walk, maybe he goes up to Minnesota and then Minnesota lets Kirk Cousins walk and Kirk Cousins can come down to Denver. Maybe they could try that. Or if free agency isn't the way the Broncos want to go, maybe they can go to the draft. And I would say if they want to go all in, and I think it'd be stupid because they traded all their picks up to Seattle. Who knows if they have their picks back or have any picks this year. They could possibly go and take that 12th overall pick that they have. If they want to draft, like I have it in a mock draft a while back, I said maybe they go after JJ McCarthy. If they want to trade up and go after a better quarterback, they could go up to number 2 with Washington. Washington has came out and said they're willing to trade back for the right price. Maybe Washington trades back to 12, Denver trades up to 2, and maybe they go after Drake May. People have compared Drake May to Justin Herbert. I don't see it, but if it became true, Sean Payton with a Justin Herbert type quarterback, hello. I don't know about you, but that would be pure gold right there on the field. And to ultimately kind of wrap it up, like I said, with Russell Wilson, he's got to make up his mind. Is he going to go to like somewhere like Atlanta? Does he go to Minnesota? Does he go to Pittsburgh? Wherever it is, he needs to realize it's going to be a 1-year rental, and it's going to be just like he's got to prove it. It's going to be a prove it deal. And for all I know, who knows if he's going to be guaranteed a starting spot. He might go into this place and he's going to have to earn his job. It's not going to be like before where you got signed there, you got traded there, whatever. You signed a big contract and you are the starter immediately. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to go in there and you're going to have to lay down to everybody and say, I'm starting over. I'm going to be one of you. I'm nobody special. Because clearly we've seen the way you play, you're not special anymore. Now, can Russell Wilson bounce back and get back to that let Russ cook era type play? It's possible, but I don't know if I could see it again. Like I said, he's 36 years old. He's pushing to get up in the 40s by the time that contract would have even been done. We saw Tom Brady play that long because he was a stand in the pocket quarterback. When you're standing in the pocket and you're not running around much and not doing anything besides just standing there, you're not getting hit much, you can play that long. But for Russell Wilson, he likes to move around. He's mobile. He can do the read option. He can get out of the pocket, scramble, go do some crazy things. That's not going to work at 36 years old. And it's kind of sad to say, the one thing that comes to mind, if Russell Wilson wants to fix his career, take the Mitchell Trubisky route. Everybody said Mitchell Trubisky's career was over. He went, and it kind of is for him, but he went to Buffalo, sat behind Josh Allen for a year, and then he went to Pittsburgh, got a starting job again. If Russell Wilson really wants to get his career back on track, I think he might have to go to the backup route. I think I said once before, I think he can still be a starter in this league, and I stand by that, but I think ultimately the way it's going right now, if he wants to get back to a starting level quarterback, like being the starter, he's going to have to take the backup role. It's not something Russell Wilson wants to hear, but he might have to go that way. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you want to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion on the whole thing, if you think Russell Wilson will be a starter, a backup for his career, if you think his career is done or not, where you think he's going to get traded, if you think Denver was stupid as fuck to make this kind of decision, whatever it may be, your opinion about the whole thing, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell. Be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.